As reported by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, children getting vaccinations born between 1994 and 2013 will prevent 322 million illnesses, which is more than the current population in the United States. Vaccinations are important and effective for everyone across the world because they prevent diseases and other illnesses. The anti-vaccination movement is a subculture that is against vaccinations, in which it was developed in 1763, but vaccinations are important by preventing diseases. They affect the body in different ways, whether you use them or not. As said in the article, The Anti-Vaccination Movement, the movement began in France in 1763 and still occurs to this day. The very first immunization was the smallpox in China. What they would do is inject smallpox into the skin, which would cause a low fever, but nothing more. If they survived, they would be immune to smallpox. Edward Jenner then released a new smallpox vaccine. There was a lot of controversy over this because people wouldn't trust the doctors or the medicine. There were also concerns about the safety and sanitation over the vaccinations. In 1853 in England, the Vaccination Act of 1853 made infants up to 3 months old have vaccines, and there were penalties if people refused. Because of this act, groups were made in 1879 to change the laws of having vaccines because an anti-vaccinationist, William Tebb, visited the U.S. in 1902. Because of this, another smallpox outbreak happened. The U.S. required its residents to be vaccinated. After, more vaccinations were available, such as tuberculosis, diphtheria, and tetanus. They started developing vaccines for whooping cough, polio, typhoid, and influenza. Today, people still take the anti-vaccination movement seriously, and it is becoming more popular. In 2000, measles was eliminated, and there were no cases of it within the United States. In 2007, a celebrity, Jenny McCarthy, became a figurehead of the anti-vaccination movement because her son was diagnosed with autism and she blamed it on the vaccinations. She believes it was triggered by the advocacy groups. As said by Shefra McKee, parents don't vaccinate their kids for certain reasons. A common reason is their religious beliefs. It can be difficult to persuade these types of people for that specific reason. Others believe it is somehow beneficial for their children to contract certain diseases because it will help their immune system become stronger. Other parents believe natural immunity is better other than immunity through vaccinations. On the other hand, some believe vaccinations don't work and they think they're at some risk of still getting diseases. Simply for this reason, some think there are more side effects of vaccinating than not getting vaccinated at all. There are many reasons why vaccination should be required. As said in the article, Top Reasons to Get Vaccinated, vaccines will keep you healthy. Getting vaccinated from birth to adulthood protects from diseases and deadly illnesses. People who aren't vaccinated are highly vulnerable to illnesses and suffering. Vaccines are just as important as exercising in your everyday health. They are the safest medical products and will prevent suffering from vaccine-preventable diseases. In this visual aid, it shows the perceived safety of vaccines by level of trust in scientists' index among countries of their different income levels. So it shows for low-income people, 95% have a high trust in vaccines, 90% have a medium trust, and 81% have a low trust. In lower middle income people, 95% highly trust vaccines, 91% medium trust, and 83% don't trust them very much. In upper middle income people, 85% believe highly trust in vaccines, 74% medium trust, and 63% don't trust them at all. High-income people, 82% highly trust them, while 64% is medium, and 48% is low. The ingredients in vaccines include adjuvants, stabilizers, formaldehyde, and thimerosal. Adjuvants boost the body's response. Stabilizers make sure the vaccines are effective rather than not functioning at all. Formaldehyde prevents contamination from bacteria within the vaccinations. And then thimerosal is used during the manufacturing process like formaldehyde, but it's not used in any vaccines except multi-dose vials of the flu vaccine. It's cheaper to get vaccinated than dealing with a disease that could have been prevented. If you get a vaccine-preventable disease, it can exceed $10 billion per year, whether it's indirect or direct costs. For example, influenza can last up to 15 days along with 5 to 6 missed days of work or school. People depend on you for work and school, so it's important to get vaccinated. It makes it hard for other people to care for people with those illnesses because they don't want to catch the disease either. There is no way you can catch a disease if you got the vaccination for it. If you do have a vaccine-preventable disease, it can spread and it can be at high risk for your family members or people around you every day. As said in the article, Making the Vaccine Decision, Addressing Common Concerns, it's important for babies especially to be vaccinated because their immune system is not fully developed. If they aren't, they are at a high risk of infections and diseases. Babies have immune systems that fight off germs, but there are some diseases that they can't handle like us adults. Getting vaccinated will improve their immune system. Vaccinations have side effects, but if you aren't vaccinated, it can affect the body more. As reported in the article, Vaccine Side Effects of vaccinations are very mild. They can include swelling, pain where the shot was given, chills, headaches, and muscle aches. These side effects are a sign that your immune system is working. Severe side effects are very rare. For example, if 1 million doses of a vaccine are given, 1 to 2 people may have a severe allergic reaction. If you aren't vaccinated, there are more side effects and it can affect the body more. When you don't get vaccinated, you are at a very high risk of getting those diseases and infections. The anti-vaccination movement is a subculture that is against vaccinations, in which it was developed in 1763. But vaccinations are important by preventing diseases. They affect the body in different ways, whether you use them or not. Vaccines are an important necessity and can save a person's life from deadly diseases. As said by Jeffrey Kluger, vaccines save lives. Fear endangers them. It's a simple message people need to keep hearing.